This is how you install Redline Tuning hood struts on your Toyota Tacoma. Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, as I said there at the beginning, today we're going to be installing the Redline Tuning hood struts on my Toyota Tacoma back here. And we're doing that for two reasons. One, to eliminate having to use this. And two, because it's cool. And I guess there's three reasons, to make it easier to open and close the hood. Now, what I've done, I've ordered the kit. It's over here on the table. I'll show you guys the part number. It is right here. Get that thing to focus. There you go. That's the part number. I'll also leave a link down below if you're interested in picking these up. What does it come with? Well, it comes with the brackets that you need for each side of the hood, right there. It comes with some rivets and the hood struts themselves, as well as directions. That's what the kit comes with. Now, what kind of tools do you need to do this? Well, first of all, you need a little bit of courage, because you are going to have to drill 4 holes in your truck. So, what do we have here? Well, you need a drill with a 3/16 bit. You need some painter's tape. You need a rivet gun. I've got some extra rivets here. It does come with rivets, as I mentioned, but in case I screw them up, I just picked up some extras. You need a pen. Helps out if you have a punch, just to punch the hole a little bit, or the spot where you're going to drill the hole for the rivets. And then secondly, and I don't have it laying here on the table, you should have some electrical tape so that you can tape off your drill bit so that you don't accidentally drill through your hood. That will ruin your day. I'll show you how I'm going to do that, or what I'm talking about there, as soon as we get into the install. Okay, one more thing I had forgotten you need is a tape measure, because you got to do a little measuring. Alright, we're going to kind of prepare the drill bit. I'm going to tell you guys what I was talking about as far as electrical tape. One thing you want to make sure, because you have to drill in the bottom of the hood. Now, there's only about that much distance between the sheet metal on the bottom of the hood and the sheet metal on the top. And if you go too far, you're going to drill right through the top of your hood, and I am sure people have done that. So, a little tip, little trick for you. Take a little bit of electrical tape and put it right below, as deep as you want the drill bit to go. So for me, it's going to be about right here. That sheet metal is not very thick, so you should be through it well before you ever get to the tape, to be honest. So I'm going to wrap some tape around the drill bit. I'll show you that in a minute. Just to stop the drill bit, pretty much, from going up any higher. At least it'll give you a lot of resistance, so you know to stop rather than just drilling and right up through the top. So let me get some tape on here, and then I'll show you the finished product. Alright, got my tape around there, and you'll notice I didn't leave very much of the drill bit exposed. Again, that sheet metal's pretty thin. That should probably be just about enough to get through it. Okay, first up, and this is still in kind of preparation to start the install, you have to remove these covers on each side. There's a little push pin right back here that attaches it to this plastic piece right up here in the front. So this is where a little screwdriver comes in handy. Just kind of pop that out. It's just one of those little push pin things. So you kind of pull out the center and then pull out the whole piece like so. Set that aside. You'll need it. And then you want to go ahead and work this piece off. It's just held in by those little push pin type things. So you should be able to just slide that forward like so. Like that, and then it should just pull right out of there. It does. And by the push pins, I mean these little white things. It has these little slots right here. You guys can see these little slots that just slip over these little pieces. So when you put it back on, you put it back down in there and slip them over. That's it. So we're going to go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. Okay, next up we're going to measure for the hood bracket, and we're starting on the passenger side. Where you want to measure from, and it's a 19-inch measurement, you want to start right here on the top of this frame, or the bracket rather, that holds the hood up. And you're going to measure 19 inches up the hood. So you're going to end up right about in this area, and you want a piece of tape up there to protect the paint, and you're going to make a marking on there. Okay, there's our 19-inch mark. And we'll go ahead and do it on the other side. After that's done, you want to measure down 2.5 inches from the edge of the hood and make another mark. There you go. And then we'll go over and do that on the other side. Okay, we've got everything marked up. Our distance mark here, and then off of the edge of the roof there, or the hood rather. So now we're going to take this bracket and we need to mark the bottom hole to start out with. And what you want to do is line this up with the ball on the outside, put the edge against your edge mark there, and then it goes as far on the hood from the edge as this 2.5 inch mark. So you want to go ahead, get that set there. Pretty much even. This is not an exact science, so you don't have to worry about it being perfect. But of course, if you're like me, you want it to be perfect. So we go ahead and mark that right there, and that's where our first hole is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do that over on the other side. There we go. That's where our first hole will be over here. Now we're going to go ahead and do the scary part, and that is, of course, the drilling. Okay, before we drill, we're going to mark this real quick with a punch. I'm going to kind of use my finger to steady things up a little bit. I am taking my time. Alright, that worked actually pretty well, and you see I did not go past the tape on the drill bit. Okay, one more thing you want to do before you proceed is go ahead and, if you've got some touch-up paint, I happen to have some from a little chip on the back, so I'm going to go ahead and splatter some paint around in that hole. Well, not splatter, but you know. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of that in there just to protect it. Okay, this is the part where we put the rivet in. Again, you want to make sure you put it on in this direction with the ball facing out. Alright, we've got the rivet in there. Now we need to fasten it down. And that is a very tight fit, I must admit. So, hold this across, and we want to put pressure on it while we do this. So I'm going to try to do that and work the rivet as well. Alright, that's pretty tight. And that's it. That's how you rivet, basically. Again, I'm no rivet expert, but that's how I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark and drill the other hole now, and then we'll put our second rivet in, and then this will be on. You can see that is nice and secure. It isn't going anywhere. Okay, time for the next hole. Make sure you've got your bracket good and parallel with the edge of the hood. Alright, there we go. Still nice and tight. That's what we want to see. You don't have to be afraid to do this. I know drilling into the hood can be a little daunting, but as long as you put the tape on the drill and take your time and be careful, it's really not that difficult. So let's go ahead, get our rivet in there. And that one fit in there well. I like that. It actually fit in better than the other one did. There. Okay, full disclosure, for some reason the end of that rivet, the little nub that pops off that you're supposed to be able to cut, got stuck in the gun. I don't know, so I had to take the gun apart to get the rivet out, but it's done, rivet's out. This is nice and tight. It isn't going to go anywhere. It did break appropriately, I think. So, it all seems good to me. Now we're going to go over and I'll do the other side, and then we'll move down to the bottom part. Okay, the tops are done. Now it's time to go to the much easier bottom brackets. You want to measure 12.5 inches from that hood bracket all the way in the back. So right back here, underneath the little nub here, is the hood edge of the hood bracket. So you want to go ahead and put our tape measure up against that. And then on our tape down here, we want to measure at 12.5 inches. Okay, go ahead and do that on the other side while we're at it. Okay, now you want to take the bracket and you want to put it in front of the 12.5 inch mark that you made. So go ahead and line that up like that, and then we're going to go ahead and mark the first hole that we're going to drill. And I think we'll start here in the back. So we'll go ahead and mark that. And we'll grab our punch. We'll go ahead and drill our hole. Grab our touch-up paint. Now we'll go ahead and rivet that in. Okay, that takes care of one. Now we'll go ahead and mark up the hole. We don't have to mark it actually. We just drill the other hole, put a little paint in there, and finish the other rivet. So now we'll go over and finish the other side, and then we'll be ready to put the struts on. Okay, all of the brackets are on. We are almost done. The last thing here is to go ahead and put these trim pieces back on, the plastic pieces we took off in the beginning. And they are these. Get these lined up. Slide them back in. And then we just have to put this push tab here through. Like that. That takes care of that side. Let's go over and do the passenger side. And just push it in the center once again. That's it. That puts everything back. So now all we have to do is go ahead and put the struts on. You want to make sure that the fat part of the strut is up. And we'll go ahead and down here on the connector, which is down here now, we'll go ahead and slip that on. There you go. Hopefully you heard the snap. And then up here on the hood, and it's right about the right height, which is nice, so we don't have to mess with trying to hold it up while we do this. Should be able to kind of rock that on as well. There you go. That takes care of that side. Now let's go over and do the driver's side. There we go. We've got it on. So now we need to do the test. Make sure that it works. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a try. Go ahead and take the OEM strut or bar off, I guess. And then obviously we're going to want to lower it, see how it works. There we go. That's all the way down, and you see that? It wants to jump up by itself. That's cool. One more time, kind of looking for clearance under here. Everything looks pretty good. That's how it works. I think it is awesome. Anyway, that is the install of the Redline Tuning hood strut. What do I think of it? Degree of difficulty? Yeah, because of the daunting task of having to drill holes into the hood, I'd probably give it about a 3 out of 5. It's not difficult after that. I tell you, the rivet gun I had was pretty darn difficult to use. Again, I wouldn't be worried about the drilling part. Just make sure you have some touch-up paint. Tape off your drill bit so that you don't accidentally push right through the hood. I know there are people out there that have done that, and again, that will ruin your day. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this mod. Have you done it? Are you considering doing it? Would you never do it? Also, if you haven't before and you're interested, check out my other channel. It's all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator, right up there. It is RobMotive. And don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.